Hello everyone, and welcome to Introduction to Engineering Economic Analysis. This is Payam Parsa. The first question that probably comes to your mind is why engineering economy and why should you care? Well, it's a very applicable subject both to your personal and professional lives. In fact, many of my former students that currently have engineering jobs have told me that they use the topics of this course in their jobs quite frequently. After all, any engineering design has to be justified economically before implementation. Let's look at some of the applications of this course. Let's imagine that you are working for a bottling company. They installed a conveyor system 10 years ago at the cost of $30,000. Well, the system is now pretty old and its maintenance costs have been increasing. The company is thinking about replacing the conveyor with a new one so the operations costs go down as a result of less maintenance and production performance increases. But the problem is new system costs a lot of money. Now, you as an engineer could be asked to analyze both alternatives of keeping the old conveyor or replacing it with the new one and recommend the best decision from an economical standpoint. Another application, but this time from our personal lives. Let's imagine that you and your spouse just had a beautiful baby boy and you want to start saving for his college education now. The key question that comes to your mind is how much really to save each month, given the rising cost of college and many other factors. So you have enough money for him 18 years from now. Or another example is when you have found your dream house, but you need to figure out how to finance it. Well, normally there are different ways to do this. For example, 30-year fixed mortgage, 15-year first mortgage, or maybe loaning the money from your uncle who's asking for no interest for the first 5 years of the loan. These are common situations for all of us, and in this course you will be learning about methods and techniques of making such decisions. Honestly, this course has truly more applications to your future than most other courses. The reason is because it deals with money and financial decisions are everywhere. Like many other courses, the material of this course builds on understanding of previous material covered. So it's really essential to keep up with the pace of the class and make sure you learn the previous chapters before starting a new one. As engineers, we must be able to understand how money works, because how much your design is genius is really irrelevant as long as it's not economically viable for implementation or to mass produce. And that's when the return on investment does not pay off the initial investment. It is important to do this analysis over the entire life cycle of any design or a product or any investment. And a lot of times in practice, we have multiple projects to choose from. It's not just one. And the decision can become really complicated if we don't use the right tools to crunch the numbers. You might see this subject matter under different names, but there are similar names: engineering economy or capital investment analysis or economic decision analysis. They're all equivalent titles for this subject. And we're going to dive into some of the introductory definitions and terms of the course that we'll be using over the course of this class. The first one is cash flow, and that is our basic approach in looking at monetary expenses and benefits, money received versus money dispersed, which is basically what comes in versus what goes out. And that's the bottom line of cash flow analysis, which we'll be talking about shortly.